What do you know about this?
I know nothing about it. It was my mother's. She was one of those people who bought a thing if she liked it.
Bit of a magpie, was she?
Yes. And I acquired it when she died, and I've always been very fond of it, but I don't know a thing about it. I don't know what it's made of.
So it's been a part of your life for a long time?
A long time, and I enjoy it.
You said you don't know what it's made of. Certainly from the front, it is a bit difficult to tell, honestly, because I can see that this isn't the original colour it should have been. It should have been probably more of a chocolatey brown colour, a rich chocolate brown colour.
Ah, yes.
I think this has been painted black, it looks like, almost, unless it's been patinated and it's darkened down. But I'd have expected it to perhaps be a bit more like this, you see.
Yes.
And this colour here is much more coppery colour.
Yes.
So that is in fact what it is made of, copper.
It's made of copper.
Yeah. It's appropriate that it's in this area because the person that made this is a very currently sought after arts and crafts metalworker called John Pearson. And he did have associations with Newlyn, which is not a million miles from here. This piece, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but it's signed JP for John Pearson.
Yes.
And conveniently dated 1905.
Well, I've never seen that.
So that's something that you've learned today.
Yes.
I think the subject matter of the ship is wonderful. You see this sort of image very much on William de Morgan tiles of the period.
Oh, yeah.
With ships, these lovely dolphins in the waves. No, it's a wonderful example. Good subject matter, good metal worker, popular at auction at the moment, and I'd have thought perhaps £1,000, £1,200 at auction.
Well, the shape of this is absolutely unmistakable. I think it's a rather sarcophagus shape is what I tend to call it, which is really characteristic of a Regency cellaret or wine cooler. Now, what do you use this for?
I use it for keeping magazines in, as my parents did before me.
So it's been in the family for some time?
Yes. Well, I inherited it from my parents, but I know that they had it for some considerable time before that. Like I say, it has to have been in the family at least 40 years.
40 years. So they use it as a magazine, Canterbury, as well, did they?
Yes, they did. They called it Canterbury.
And when we look inside, that becomes absolutely obvious because it now has divisions for the magazines. But in fact, still at the bottom, right at the bottom here, is the little bolt which would have been the bung, so to speak, for to let out the water from the cellaret. And it would initially have had a tin liner as well to protect this rather beautiful mahogany from the water. And very classical, very simple. It has the landmask handles at either end, quite chunky, quite bold. It's been quite carefully modified, if you like, to become a Canterbury. Except that to me the legs look a little bit light for the weight of the cellaret itself.
Yes.
And I wonder if perhaps the legs were also added, quite sympathetically in a way, except this is a little bit too light, when the adaptation was made.
Yes, I see.
That something like this ought to be £600 or £700 in a sale room.
Yes.